Okay. Okay. I think it's working now. That was weird. Okay, it did a weird thing again, but it seems to be working now. So we're gonna go with it. Next up is Seen and Never Heard by Lukking.
Seen and never heard by Lukking. What is it with Lukking and just like creating these just awesome things out of nowhere?
Yeah, like I was not expecting him to release something like this. Um, and I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna be upfront here. This is like the first track in a long time that I added to my favorites list.
Hot
Um,
diggity damn.
it's like it's actually yeah. Like well, let me look. Let me pull it up. Why not? Um,
What's on your favorites list? I gotta take a look at
it's
your
like
favorite.
there's not a lot of things on my favorites list. Um,
I gotta take a look myself.
because I continually change things. Um,
Rabid Squirrel.
so it's
One
the first one
17.
since let's see, um, Retrograde, Marble Soda, The Gorge, Ragdoll, and Seen and Never Heard. So, I mean, just looking at that, it's like clearly my favorite track by Lucking, which is funny because of it's like I don't know he it like he didn't think nearly as highly of it as some of his other tracks. I'll just say that. Um, but it's my favorite. So, want to watch it?
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like a good time.
All right,
I
three,
love this
two.
track too.
Oh, okay, okay. Three, two, one, go.
I also think this track is the bee's knees. So nice choice on the purple too. Good stuff.
That was yeah. I edited this.
I just love the attention to detail on the syncing.
I love how it changes when the word's introduced.
Oh yeah.
Like the manuals are introduced.
Yeah, and they're really like neat. Not in the sense that they're clean, but just that they're really just skillfully done. Like the recycles are
Yeah,
impressive, but they're not impressive because they recycle. They're impressive because they sync with it too,
yeah,
and they reiterate what's going on in the sync.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
It's the same.
It's like it just fits the music like a glove. You know, it's not like here's a bunch of track that happens to be synced to this song. It's like here is the song in track form. You know.
Yeah, it's really well done.
You want to
Can
just
we
watch
watch
it
that one
again?
more?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it again.
Yes. All right. Yeah,
All right, ready. Three, two, one, go.
bam. Lucking presents. Yeah, this is a present from Lucking, and I'm watching the present. This track is a gift, and that recycle is
That was
ridiculous
a
at the
really
beginning
good
too.
recycle, yeah. And it's
Just the
good
fact that it
because
sinks.
it feels good, you know, and then you realize, oh wait, he recycled that. That's really hard to do.
And a lot of
I
the
love the
manuals.
bold choice in that like backwards slow pace coming
Yes,
down.
I am
And
a
then this
proponent of
recycle is
those.
like the recycle is just great. Like you don't even know it's a recycle until you think about it.
Yeah,
And it
and I think the
I love
syncs
that
also
moment
choose
there.
to be precise in certain places where it counts.
Yeah.
But in places where you want to like focus on the words, it becomes, I would say, more of secondary importance to the emotion itself, not necessarily the hits, the sudden
Well,
movements.
it's really great because you know this is something that I've been like hoping that people would do. We want to watch it again in slow motion.
Yeah, half speed will do it.
Let's do it in quarter speed.
Quarter speed? We got a
It's
lot to talk
only a
about it.
minute, so
Sounds good. Let's do it.
it'll be over before we know it. All right, three, two, one, go.
Bam.
So, What were you saying?
Lukking presents. I'm just saying. I think when the words are introduced and the manuals start up, it becomes a lot more fluid and a lot less like that sort of like
Yeah.
poppy. And I
Um,
think that works with the mixing of the music as well because the music itself like introduces the synths and it becomes less of this just like basic like boom bap type beat.
what I would say in regard to that is I really like how whatever whatever the focus of the song is, that's what the focus of the track is. So it's like, um, he's not necessarily always thinking to the beat, and he's not necessarily always thinking to the words. But when you listen to the song, what do you like? What do you pick out first in a particular moment? And that's what he syncs to, So and it works really well because then um, you get like the sort of manuals are somewhat like the words, and the quirk is somewhat like the beat, and then you mix them together, and sometimes one sticks out more than the other. But that's the way music works, and it's just really
Yeah,
cool to see that in track form.
it's like I, I had a thought, but then I lost it. um, it feels like the track is a well mixed song. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
where there are sections that stand out in certain parts but aren't like standing out the whole time. So it doesn't feel like the track is yelling at you.
And again, I really like this because it's just such a bold choice, and
I mean,
it
honestly,
works so well. It's like you wouldn't expect that to work, but it pays off.
backward shoulder pinch for president,
And then
2K16.
here's this recycle, of course, which is really
Oh
just that
god.
one line, and it syncs with the music so beautifully. And
How?
I don't know, man. I don't
It, it,
know.
it's like what Flag Capper did with that ridiculously long recycle.
Yeah, yeah. Except it
Only,
doesn't. It only has the one stabilizer
yeah,
line.
and it's applied to a sink.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
works so well. It's like I think this is like the next stage of what miniature and blue could have like developed further,
yeah.
and I think it does it really, really well. I think better than most synced projects so
I
far.
um I I mean I'd have to think about it a little bit, but off the top of my head, I think this might be my favorite. My favorite like instance of music syncing in a track. It just all works really
It does.
well. And the focus is on representing the music, not necessarily like difficulty in the game itself. Though sometimes things are easy and sometimes things are difficult, and it doesn't. It's like it doesn't
It's that the
matter if
difficulties of
it's easy
secondary
or
importance.
difficult. It's just how do I make it fit the music. And so sometimes he does things that are really hard, and sometimes he does things that are really easy, but it always fits the music really well.
Yeah, what's impressive is that no matter the difficulty, it fits equally well for both of them.
Exactly, yeah.
I look at the
Because like
recycle
if
the
it's
set.
easy, it works. But sometimes something really difficult will work better. And so then when he can, he does that. It's like it's not hindered by ability, but it's
Mhm.
not trapped by an attempt to do things that are hard.
One of the subtle things I think that really works here is that the motion of like the quirk uh, during like the sort of breakbeat stuff is very swingy. It'll have these sort of easing in and out of moments that are just these sudden pops into like hang times that are that fit with the music very well. And then
Yeah,
when it goes into things that are synced to the words, which are these like smooth lilting pieces,
yeah,
there's the motion becomes this more consistent and fluid entity.
yeah. And it's like um, there's a lot of there's a big trend since like the newer versions of Line Rider have come out, particularly LRA, where there's a newer trend for people to like um, think about like making tracks as like a frame by frame
Mm-hmm.
endeavor, and I love how this one uses those tools, but isn't trapped by that frame by frame mentality. Isn't trapped by
Yeah.
he's doing
I've,
this for this many frames, and then he does this for this many frames, and then on this particular frame something happens. I mean, even if you look at these really tight syncs, like most of them are not like frame perfect specific, because the actual like it looks like a snap, but it's not one frame. It's like 3 or 4 frames, you
mm-hmm.
know? And so that tells me that he's not really looking at the frames. He's just looking at the playback with the music,
Right.
which is so up my alley. It's like that's my favorite.
This track
thing.
does a lot of things right, and I want to see more.
Yeah, that's my only complaint about this track is that it's freaking like a 45-second track. Like, why is it so short, and why did he not continue with it, and why is nobody else making anything like this? Because this is like this is it. If I could pick one track that I want to see more of that's been released in the last like 2 years, it would be this one.
I would kill to see some more interesting stuff like this. Not actually kill, but you get my idea.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I said that
in
about.
short,
I think we said something similar about Mountain, but I would take more of this over more of Mountain. To be honest, to be perfectly honest here.
I could just have more like Seen and Never Heard and Mountain just hanging out in our little metasphere. I could definitely deal with seeing some extra of both of those. Yes,
Yeah.
please. All right. 2
I
thumbs
guess
up
do
for
we have
me.
any criticisms of this track other than too short?
I do in times. No, that's not a criticism. Never mind.
Because I really don't. I really don't have any criticisms besides too short.
I enjoy it. I feel like yeah, it just needs more developing. It needs more work. Needs more to be shown.
I would
That's
love
it.
to see this with different styles of music too.
I want to see something like this scened.
Ooh, ooh, that would be so fun. Like, like scenery with a synced track.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of possibilities there.
I
Yeah, I guess it's never been
part
possible
part,
before because it was so laggy that it was just impossible to know if it would looked any good or not if there was
so
scenery.
part of me like wants to someday like scene this track and call it but then I can call it get this
Seened and never heard.
seen it yes yes ah you got it.
No, I'm thinking about like there's so many possibilities if you incorporate scenery into this kind of track because, I mean you could put the lyrics, like you could write out lyrics, or you could instead of writing out the
What's
lyrics you
its
could
face?
draw what the lyrics are talking about, or
Oh
you
yeah,
could
I actually
or
wanted to
Bosch
do
could
like
go on
a
a like emotional journey that parallels the emotional journey in the song. Like there's so many possibilities.
I had a brief idea where I had Bosch recreate the opening scene from Downtown by Macklemore, where it's like, went into the moped store, said "fuck it." Salesman's like, "What up? What's your budget?" It said, "Honestly, I don't know nothing about mopeds." And it's like there's this like Bosch following him around us, like, I got the one
It
for you.
sounds like
Follow
the
me.
absolute like I don't know what's the word, a crudest interpretation of what I'm saying here, but sure,
Yes.
if you want to do something like that, go for it.
It would be so great. Um,
uh,
I just need Canon to implement multiple writers, and then that is a project that I'm going to be making.
oh wow.
All right. Seen Never Heard gives me ideas. That's a pretty. That's one of the highest.
That's probably the highest praise you can give to a track is inspiring.
Gives me lots of ideas. I like it.
Yeah. Well, it's my favorite track by Lukking. It's also my favorite track.
I like Flipside. I like Flipside a
in
lot.
the last several months.
I'm such a fan of Flipside.
I know yeah. We all know that. Well, I don't know. Maybe other people don't. In case you didn't know, OTDE is a big fan of Flipside, which is a Lukking track.
Flipside. Don't crimp on my steez, man.
It's like Lukking imitates Giorgio and Anomaly, and it's really good.
Assault has a special place in my heart, if only because I got to make a super dramatic TV static intro.
Oh yeah, you got to do the editing for that one.
Oh, that was so. I was just like, every time the horns came in, you know.
All right, so before we get any more off topic, I think
yes,
that we can.
I think it's good.
Done.
Seen and Never Heard. It's awesome. Watch it like 5 times. Show it to your family. Show it to your mom. Show
Seriously,
it to your dad.
if you show it to your family, I guarantee you they will enjoy it because mine did.
Yeah, man. People should both see and hear about this track.
And not just see it, but definitely listen to it as well.
Yeah. That's
despite the title.
Ignore what the title says. Listen to the music along with the track. If you watch it on its own, it's kind of like, just, oh, that's neat. The music makes it.
Yup.
All right.
Have
a good one, people watching.
Thanks for watching, one person still watching, and we will see you, yes you, at the next quick review. All right, see you.
What are you doing? Why are you following us around? That's really creepy.